Oh, they're in Nutley now. Are we back up, guys? Do you see it? Are we still laggy? Are we back up? No, let's just pick it up right now like we're back from commercial break. Here we are. Absolutely, you got to be thinking about the calf killer. The other aerial moves by AJ Styles. What the fuck is going on here?
2, 3.
That jumping
wow.
The side of the jaw there.
Wow.
Jesus. It's gotta hurt. Alistair Black
Very
really
aggressive.
playing up.
I mean,
Ricky,
all of his attacks are connecting tonight.
You gotta think, what does that pump do? Alistair Black, very much a fan of the pump with the opposite leg before coming in with a lower body strike. How does that affect the move? AJ Styles with the counter elbow.
I think it's
Oh, here we go. Here we go. There it is. No, he doesn't get it. He has foot on the rope.
Break
Foot on the
breaks up
rope.
the calf crusher quick. Looks like Alistair Black kind of powered his way out. And Styles drags him back in the middle, perhaps going for it again. With the cover there. So Ricky, what does that pump do?
I mean, Aleister Black has an advantage with his martial arts expertise, and and all of his moves are very technical. So he has a lot of misdirections with his attacks with his legs and his punches.
Styles calling
So
for that phenomenal forearm on the side of the apron there. Styles up with the springboard to the forearm. The Black connects. That's got to be it. As Styles goes for the cover here.
1,
2. And Black kicks out at 2. Oh, what a kick out.
That was 1.5.
You got to think those
1 3/4, 1 7/8. That was as close as it gets, guys.
not
Jeez.
many kick out of the forearm. As Styles lifts Black up, who counters into the jawbreaker. Oh, perhaps going for that Black mass, weakening the jaw. As Styles whips him into the ropes. Aleister Black counters and it's a nice little arm drag there. But the close as he takes Styles over the top.
Whoa, very good connection to moves right
What
there.
is Aleister Black doing from the top rope to the outside? What is he thinking here? So Aleister Black lives with the knees, and Styles dodges out of the way as Black comes careening down onto the mat on the outside. Jeez, how Styles with a drop kick. The momentum has infinitely turned in Styles' favor here, has it not, Tom?
He just
Throws Black counters into a jawbuster, and we're back on the scale.
had to have fallen from 15 feet in the air, landed right on his knees. How does he have knees left?
4.
His knees
The
should have
Styles
turned
has
to
Black
powder.
Oh, that spinning side slam from the top of the shoulders by Styles here as he goes to
5.
hopefully take this back into the ring where they can get a clean finish. It's Black finally taking control. Slamming Styles head against the apron.
7.
As these
Count
two
of
men need to
seven
get
from the
back in the
official,
ring quick.
rolling him
There we
back
go.
into the
Aleister
ring.
Black rolling him in. What an exchange. That style rolls out of the way of the stomp.
Oh, Black Mass kick!
Absolutely
Black Mass
killed him
kick!
with the mask.
Black
out
Mass
of
kick!
nowhere.
Oh,
But Styles kicks out. He
Oh
kicks
my
out of the
God.
Black Mass. Black is meditating like Darth Maul and Phantom Menace as Styles lays on the mat.
He's perplexed.
Nobody's kicked out of the Black Mass before the Intercontinental Championship. Heavy on the minds of these two athletes as Black up to the top, turning around, and no knows that Styles gets the knees up.
I was about to
Black
say
goes
what's heavy.
careening under the kneecaps of Styles. Oh, and his air's out.
I wanted. Oh, and he put.
Styles
There we
puts at
go.
him.
Oh, and he's
Oh,
still.
the
Ever
slap.
defiant Aleister Black slaps him in the face.
The disrespect.
See, Black drags Styles to the ropes. He whips Styles over the top to the apron. Is Black with another right? Is he? What are they doing? What are we doing?
Oh,
Oh, back drop! Oh, Styles is back off the hardest part of that ring. You know, Black with those educated feet as Styles somehow gets him with a snap suplex on the outside there. These two men beating the hell out of each other, Rick.
They are definitely
Another drop kick by Styles, picturesque. What does
They
the
trade
Intercontinental
blows.
Championship mean to two men like this? What does it mean to be the first ever champion, Rick?
This is what they call the workhorse championship. They have the prestige of this championship, and they're fighting so hard for it. You can just tell by the intensity of this match.
They both want it.
Count of six from the
Exchanging moves
official.
as Styles rolls Black back into the ring. Styles stalking his prey with a well-timed stomp. So we get Styles to the outside again. Looks like he's lining up for that phenomenal forearm again. Is he going to hit a second? There's no way Aleister Black could hit a kick out of a second. Lines up. Oh, another forearm!
Ooh.
Styles goes for the cover here. One,
One.
two, and our new Intercontinental,
And
first
AJ
ever
Styles.
Intercontinental Champion, AJ Styles.
hell.
The phenomenal one takes home the gold.
match.
What a match. What a match. The physicality. Ah, a fitting end to this tournament as AJ Styles gets the 1-2-3 after a forearm and is crowned the first ever 5-star Intercontinental Champion. Ricky, what do you think Styles is feeling right now?
I mean, he
After that
has to be
victory?
feeling elation right now. The first ever 5-star wrestling Intercontinental Champion. This has to be an awesome feeling.
And Tom, what was the first feeling you had after winning your first title back in the Philadelphia Spectrum?
It was pure, absolute elation, Samuel. Well, your first title, especially when you were the first recipient of that title. And I gotta
That
tell you,
second-
it's nice to see Natural Selection not get a title tonight.
It is. You got to think they'll be eyeing the Intercontinental Championship.
You have to think that Bobby Roode's on the sidelines just looking for his moment to get a shot at the Intercontinental Championship.
It's a phenomenal one, stands tall. And you got to think for him, this moment is just too sweet. As we make our way to the back here. And again, folks, next month, please join us on pay-per-view for Midnight in the Garden of Evil. And you got to think something wicked this way comes as we come to you live in late September
Yes.
on pay-per-view. Midnight in the Garden of Evil.
Good and evil.
As we
Midnight
get
in the Garden of
situated
Good and
for-
Evil.
Midnight in the what?
Garden of Good and Evil.
Good and Evil, excuse me, Tom. As we get set for our next match. This triple threat match determining the #1 contender to the later to be determined 5-star heavyweight championship as the big dog Roman Reigns takes on the Scottish psychopath Drew McIntyre and Daniel Bryan, the American Dragon, in a triple threat match here. Both of these men, the respective losers of championship matches. As Daniel Bryan out hot with strikes to Roman Reigns here, getting him up on the apron. Drew McIntyre down to a forearm. You got to think the size disadvantage for Bryan would psych him out, but not Not in this case, right, Tom?
No, he came out fiery, big and early, the GOAT, with a big strike, but he paid for it now. Now he has two big men who are going to be attacking him. Or...
No, it's Roman the big dog with a big belly to belly to Drew McIntyre.
Big belly to belly.
As we have, looks like Roman Reigns and Daniel Bryan teeing off against Drew McIntyre right now. I know these two have faced each other before and have some respect for one another. Might want to take this one-on-one as Daniel Bryan takes advantage of Roman Reigns, just not paying attention, tossing him with that German suplex. Great strength by the smaller Bryan.
I think Daniel Bryan has a distinct advantage in this match. He has the speed. He has more of the expertise. He's been in the industry for much longer. He knows about the David and Goliath matches. He's been in plenty of them in his career. So I think Daniel Bryan has a very good advantage in this match.
Absolutely. You got to think that big win at WrestleMania 30 in the Superdome. Daniel Bryan wanting to relive that moment here, recreating it.
And Roman just can't get anything going here. He just gets pushed to the outside again. And Daniel Bryan says, no, no, no. Like the Kembe Mutombo.
And a salient point, Tom. And you got to think in a normal man's situation, they might be gassed right now. But Daniel Bryan's endurance and longevity as Roman Reigns picks him up with a body drop. I was just going to say his endurance will carry him through as we get the two Goliaths, Drew McIntyre and Roman Reigns, in a battle of King Kong versus Godzilla. As Daniel Bryan comes in with his strikes, he's not stopping, a little firecracker. Bryan
that big
working his way
electric
up to the
chair drop
independent
earlier
scene.
from Reigns. I haven't seen that move in years.
Bryan works in that arm of Roman Reigns there. You got to think weakening for the spears. We got to cover in one. And Reigns 6 out of 1. Now, this is a lot of back and forth here. Normally what you'll see is 2 men in the ring after taking one out. You rarely see this, one versus one action, Ricky, do you?
Yeah, you barely see that, but I think all three of these guys are giving it their all. So I'm really enjoying the offense that are happening in this match right now.
Drew McIntyre goes to town on Roman Reigns in the corner, using those tree trunks of legs to drive the knee into his jaw as Daniel Bryan comes in and McIntyre pushes him off.
Now later tonight, we have the title match, and two guys are going to walk out of that match as losers. But the winner of this match is effectively going to leapfrog them in the contendership, because this is the #1 contenders match tonight.
You got to think sometimes when you get your opportunity and you don't make the most of it, you got to win your way back up as McIntyre goes for the cover. Reigns breaking it up.
It just proves that the main event scene here at 5-Star Wrestling and the Superman Punch.
As Reigns with that signature move with the 3-roll, the big dog Roman Reigns winning off of that Superman Punch to Drew McIntyre. You got to think the winner of tonight's main event has to be very, very nervous with the big dog strolling around.
Out of
That
nowhere.
Punch, clocking McIntyre, knocking him out cold.
That's down now. Drew
Here is your winner,
Drew lost his title match, and now he gets pinned, and you got to think he's down to the bottom of the line.
He's got to work his way back up for sure, Tom.
That's a lot of
big
work to
dog.
do for the Scottish psychopath.
As the big dog's on the hunt for the 5-Star Heavyweight Championship.
And whoever wins that title tonight, your ass might be next.
They will get Roman Reigns at midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil next month. As we make our way into our semi-main event here to determine the first ever 5-Star Women's Championship, as Rhea Ripley takes on the Australian Peyton Royce versus Charlotte Flair. And what a matchup this will be. Very different backgrounds here, Tom, is it not?
Well, we got two ladies from down under, and we got two blondes in this match. So, and you have the prestige of Charlotte and the two young upstarts in Rhea Ripley and Peyton Royce.
Because you got to think Charlotte Flair has the advantage from a skills and experience perspective, right, Ricky?
Yeah, I mean, she's every accolade that you can have in WWE and NXT. Charlotte has done it and then some. Charlotte has the pedigree that is beyond Rhea Ripley and Peyton Royce times 10.
As Ripley takes, ironically, Rhea Ripley takes Charlotte Flair out with that massive boot over the apron. Peyton Royce comes in with a spin kick to the jaw of Ripley, then spin kick to the spine. Peyton Royce showing off those educated down under
What
feet.
she's gonna have to do, she's gonna have to have her quickness. And Charlotte, wisely, I should say, standing on the outside, biding her time. She need not involve herself right now. The Queen.
Showing her veteran presence right now. Just letting these two upstarts beating the crap out of each other.
It's Ripley with the three amigos, but foreheads to the head of Peyton Royce.
And let's just talk more about.
That's gotta hurt.
Let's just talk more about the. Oh, and now Rhea involving
Ripley
herself
with
with
a drop kick to
Charlotte
Charlotte.
for no real reason, involving herself with the Queen, and Charlotte wasn't doing anything.
That's
I think
Ripley.
this is good by Rhea Ripley. You know what? Attack the veteran presence. You want to be the best woman in 5-star wrestling. You know what? Attack the best talent there is and prove yourself as the dominant female of 5-star wrestling.
As we get the action back in the ring after a strike exchange, Charlotte Flair taking out the leg of Peyton Royce. It's like she's gonna set up for that figure eight. Oh, and she drops a knee on the inside of that meniscus.
And as
They're
ever,
taking on Rhea Ripley.
and here we go. One.
Cover.
That was
kick
three,
out
ref.
one by
That was
Ripley.
three. They should be ringing the bell right now for Charlotte Flair. That was a three.
Oh,
And that's an
Peyton
illegal
Royce,
maneuver.
Hurricane Rana,
That is an
shades of Rey
illegal.
Mysterio.
That is an illegal maneuver in American wrestling. The Lucha Libre style need not be here in this ring, as far as I'm concerned.
It's Rhea Ripley ignoring the submission. You gotta pay more attention to that.
I would
that's
agree,
not
and that's
true.
why she's not the queen.
The Australians circling each other up with a pair of angry kangaroos as Ripley with the cover on Ripley.
I'm loving the aggression right now by the Australians right now.
Peyton
Very-
Royce really surprised me with the offense. She's known for her tag team action with her best friend Billy Kay, really taking it to Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair. As Rhea Ripley hit Charlotte Flair with a crossbody.
Again,
Peyton Royce on the
Charlotte
outside of the ring.
not bothering anybody. No need to attack Charlotte there.
Charlotte with a counter.
Best counter in the
Kick.
business. Big backhand.
Spinning elbow to the face of Ripley. As Charlotte grappling with Peyton Royce, working that leg again. She's really targeting that knee. You gotta think she's setting up for the figure eight leg lock on that left knee of Peyton Royce, who counters into a drop toe hold, busting that face of Charlotte Flair on the mat. Peyton Royce really shining here. You got two single specialists like Ripley and Flair. And Peyton Royce really known for a tag team specialization, but she's really holding her own, Rick, isn't she?
I'm thinking that she sees the importance of this match, the prestige that comes with being the first ever.
This is
5-star
an
women's
illegal
wrestling
hold. This is an
champion.
illegal
Little
hold. She
reverse
should break it.
tarantula action, shades of Tajiri.
She needs to break it. That was an illegal
And
hold.
Peyton, she kicks her off the apron. No DQ in this triple threat match.
This is showing the aggressiveness. This is the aggressiveness of Peyton Royce right now. She is seeing what's ahead of her, and that's a championship around her waist.
I am disgusted with the actions of Rhea Ripley and Peyton Royce in this match. They should have laid down for our queen.
Do you think that, Ricky? Do you think that these two are overlooking Charlotte Flair?
You know what? Those two people they're in the
Ooh, that's
zone
a
right
good
now.
one.
They don't see anything. It could be anyone in the match. It could be Trish Stratus. It could be Medusa. It could be anyone in the ring right now. They see what's ahead of them, and that's a championship around their waist.
The salient point is Peyton Royce with that going for the three amigos suplex, their favorite wrestler of all time, Eddie Guerrero. Oh, with that bridge and coverage, Charlotte Flair kicks
And
out.
Charlotte kicks out at one. No worries, folks. She's still in this.
Peyton Royce with that forearm to the face of Rhea Ripley, bringing her up to the top rope.
It's hard to. I don't understand why you guys don't just root for Charlotte all the time. She's literally everything we need in a women's professional wrestler.
I'm a neutral commentator, Tom. I just call the action as Peyton Royce brings Rhea Ripley down to the mat with that superplex.
And now Rhea rolling out of the ring like a coward.
Peyton's offense really on fire here, looking like the Kansas City Chiefs with this no huddle. As Ricky, what are your thoughts on the Australians' offense right now?
You know what? It is explosive right now. Of course, I don't know
Covered by
what I'm
Royce.
seeing right now,
2.
but I'm
Charlotte Flair kicks out.
How dare
but I'm
you?
seeing two upstarts aggressive in the ring right now, just showing what they have. You know, we've never seen this offense before by these two. It's just absolutely impressive, and I'm loving every second of it.
Well, we've seen the offense by Ripley, but I am surprised by Peyton Royce here, who continues to dominate the match, setting up for Charlotte Flair. As Flair counters, that technical aptitude really coming in. Yeah, I think at some point this is going to break for one of these two young Australians. As Charlotte Flair takes advantage with a spear.
Big spear. Let's do it.
Like Goldberg. And Charlotte Flair goes for the cover. Ripley's incapacitated. 1, 2, 3. And Charlotte Flair wins the match in his
And
first ever
all
women's
is
champion.
right with the world. Charlotte Flair, your first ever 5-star women's wrestling champion of the world. And she wrestled a absolutely perfect match, boys. Hits the spear.
Perfect or not, she got the pinfall in the championship, Tom. You're right on the money. I'm very impressed by Peyton Royce's offense here. She held her own despite taking the pin in a match with two behemoths.
This will not be the last time you see Peyton Royce. The aggressiveness, the impressive offense, you will see her in a championship match sooner than later.
Yeah, well, she took the pin, so it's the end of the line for the Aussie. And here you go. You see a Valiant champion celebrating with her well-earned championship title belt. Thank you, Sam.
This is, I'm not sure what the exact number is, but Charlotte Flair pushing up towards 20 in terms of total championships, and what's amounting to a very successful and lucrative career for the daughter of Ric Flair. Hard-fought match and valiant win there by Charlotte Flair. As we get ready for our main event. We want to thank Kid Rock for lending us the song all summer long. Really piping in the electricity for wet Mark American summer here. Thank you, Kid. As we get ready for our main event.
We also wanted to
the
thank
inaugural 5-star World Heavyweight Champion as Seth Rollins takes on Sheamus and Walter. Next.
Do you have gray hair? This next match is brought to you by Pray Away the Gray, the only Christian-based formula to fight your graying hair. That's Pray Away the Gray.
And we want to remind all of you citizens who are taking the time at home to socially distance to visit the Viking Experience in Nutley, New Jersey, when it opens again in the spring, as we get started here with our main event. Now, Tom, walk us through what's going on in the minds of these three men and how it's going to play out.
Well, you have Walter, the ring general, as they say, who has been absolutely dominant with his power bomb lately. He's pinned the likes of the Drew McIntyres. He's pinned the likes of the Roman Reigns. And then you have
Walter here with that Saito suplex on Seth Rollins, taking him out. Sheamus throwing some fists. Now, Ricky, what is it about Sheamus that's made him last so long in wrestling? He's pushing 40, but he's still a main event player in the best shape of his life. What is it about Sheamus that keeps him in that picture?
Number one, if you've seen his YouTube page, which is a pretty good one, he's a workout, just an absolute monster.
Sheamus suplex that Walter wasn't paying attention. Sorry, go ahead, Rick.
But yeah, you can see the different workouts that he does with different. He does yoga. He does booty workouts. He does powerlifting. He does CrossFit. Whatever it takes to keep his body tight at his age, he does whatever it takes. And of course, you can see in this match that he's going to have the stamina and the strength to go after this championship and win it and be the World Heavyweight Champion for 5-Star Wrestling.
Ironically, Sheamus on the outside as Walter and Rollins
taking
continue to
his
action in the
time,
middle. Rollins with
biding
that
his time.
flatliner, really bringing the offense. Three very distinct styles of offense here. Rollins with that high octane, very variable unorthodox style. Walter with a very multiple style, and Sheamus with that power-based offense here. There's a lot of different styles as he slams Seth Rollins on the mat as we get the two heavyweights from Europe. Sheamus bringing feet to Walter's chest, bring him to the mat here. Sheamus stands tall as Walter tries to gather himself on the outside. Rollins on the mat there. Sheamus taking his sweet time there. Looks like Walter's back in the ring.
Little malfunction at the junction there between the big men.
Thomas Sheamus brings the knees to the sternum of Walter, dropping him to the mat, and another stomp. As Rollins with a jumping knee to Sheamus's rib cage there. Interesting placement for the move. As Rollins with another fist. Really bringing that offense, and Rollins with that strength. He might be 235 pounds, but he's as strong as a 300-pounder. Dropping Sheamus on the apron. What is it about Rollins' training, Rick, that really gives him the strength as Walter drops him straight on his back?
Well, have you seen from his own wrestling school, Black and Brave Wrestling School in Iowa, and of course he's the CrossFit Jesus, as they call him in the interwebs. But as you can see, Seth Rollins is always in superb shape. He's a very, very disciplined wrestler when it comes to his fitness and his craft.
And then Walter rolls out of the ring like a coward, not unlike Austria in the Great Wars of the past.
Sheamus really bringing the offense to Seth Rollins here. Bring him up for that knee buster.
You know who I always thought had a good strategy in the Great Wars?
Who, Tom?
The Irish. You know, they remained neutral. They bided their time. Okay.
Walter with that big boot to Sheamus.
Oh, and Walter trips him up. Oh, big slap.
Slap by Walter, echoing throughout the 5-star arena here in scenic Baltimore, Maryland, as Rollins whips and knocks Walter off the apron to the floor as Sheamus rises in the background. Seth and Sheamus with a little collision there. Sheamus with the elbow to Rollins' jaw. I think weakening up for that bro kick and a nice little Irish curse backbreaker. Oh, that second one. Is he going for 3? It's the trio there. Sheamus, a big soccer fan. They hit the hat trick on the back of Seth Rollins, really incapacitating him. He looks like he's clotheslining in the air as Walter brings a forearm to the back of Sheamus. We've got the big men in a another Godzilla King Kong contest, striking each other. You gotta think Seth might be like Mothra rising from the ashes later, coming out of the air.
Sheamus hit a bro kick and all of that.
Or Rodan.
And like William Wallace, the great conqueror from Ireland, Sheamus is absolutely crushing the competition.
He is, Tom, as he drags Walter to the middle there in the cover. Walter kicks out at 1. You gotta put a little bit more of offense onto Walter.
Big overhead throw by Sheamus.
A nice little toss from Sheamus there. He drives him with another cover here. Rollins back in, breaking it up. So it's been going on for a bit as Rollins starting to bring some more offense into Sheamus. Looks like he's hooking him for a fisherman's. Oh, he hasn't used this move in a while since Ring of Honor days. Sheamus kicking out at 1.
What was that called? The God's Grip? What is that?
I think the lack of experience with that has given a little bit of ring rust as Rollins is checking for something. The kick to the gut. And Rollins up in the air. Oh, he's got the curb stomp to Sheamus. Going for the cover. Walter's up and he breaks it off. Oh, bad timing by Seth.
That's the problem with the triple threat.
Now with the forearm.
That's the problem with the triple threat. You always have to neutralize the other opponent.
Sling blade, shades of Hiroshi Tanahashi out of Japan. As Rollins is really striking his way through the 2 big men. As he hits that discus forearm with the cover.
2, 3.
Oh, and he pinned Sheamus! New champion! New champion, it's Rollins! The Seth Rollins! It's Rollins! Rollins is the first 5-star heavyweight champion in the world! What a performance by the Architect!
What a performance!
It's hard to believe.
Rollins outlasting and outstriking his opponents. Great job,
I could not believe that.
Well, you got to think Rollins is going to take a little bit of time to celebrate this win, but he knows what's coming for him.
And that's Roman Reigns.
His former Shield ally and best friend Roman Reigns.
Here is your winner.
Going one-on-one.
And new All-Star World Heavyweight Champion.
As Rollins climbs the
Seth
turnbuckle, holding that
Rollins.
duly earned championship up high. Well done by the architect there. What a show we had for you tonight. A Wet Mark American Summer. 5 new championships crowned. What a show. What a show.
What a
Tom,
show.
take us out.
Next time you join us will be at midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil, and you know your main event. It's former Shield brethren going up against each other. They're going up against Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins. Also, what's going to happen with the Europeans who just lost their main event, Sheamus and Walter? We also have the fallout of the Women's Championship. Drew McIntyre hasn't won a match in 5-star wrestling. AJ Styles, your new Intercontinental Champion, your new Tag Team Champion, and your new Hardcore Champion are being run by possibly the greatest faction in the history of professional wrestling. What else is going to happen? I don't know. You're going to have to join us each week on 5-Star Wrestling.
Thank you, and good night.
See you.